Yes, welcome back. And by the way, welcome. This is the first time you're going to be on the YouTube channel. So you're going to be a YouTube sensation.
Yes, I'm not better looking, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh. My bad.
going straight. By the way, you haven't even noticed my shirt yet. We've been talking for 10 minutes.
Because your mic is blocking the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Christmas
holiday special. What holiday is it?
I gotta prep you for that. Come on, let's go. It's anyway. It was supposed to be funny. You didn't pick up on it. You know, you were too concerned. You were too concerned about the headphones. Now, what's going on with the cords? I mean, I know I've got a cord here, but these are pro, like in my studio here.
What? And Apple's not pro? Apple's not pro. I thought that. You know what? They're actually on their way, so they'll be here in 2022 because that's about shipping when it comes to these days. And I'm doing this for you just to not upstage you because I've got some pretty bomb wireless headphones that are sitting right over there and they're super comfy, but I'm just not going to upstage you.
Yeah, well, you can't upstage these bad boys. Every time.
No, the cans.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm trying to look pro. I've got the massive microphone. You're just talking through. You probably sound better than me anyway. I'm trying to use this. I do. Yeah, I
always do.
And I got these headphones. But you did before we came on. You said, "Hey, do you care if I wear Bose headphones?" I'm like, well, "Why would I care?" And you're like, "Well, they're pretty nice. I don't want to make you look silly." But I appreciate that. Thanks for wearing the circa 2016 headphones. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I did it for you.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm wondering what you can see in the background there. Because I've got, how much of my room can you see?
Basically everything you can see.
Okay. I'm just making sure that, unmentionables weren't in camp with you.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. You don't need to edit that out.
Are we keeping that in? No worries. Let's do it. Why not? I feel like, speaking of that, Jimmy Fallon, I don't know if you watch his show, it's pretty funny. Like it's kind of, we talked about this on the last episode and I was like, well, you don't have the crowd noise, like laughing and the whole thing, but that's kind of, it's like a new way to make it funny. But you see his kids, slide into the scene. And I'm sitting there the whole time going, oh, they could really slip up here or something bad could happen or someone, can nitpick and find some little detail that could be controversial. But then I'm thinking to myself, well, they do tape it. So I think they're good. If the kid blurts out like, "Give me Cheerios right now," well, then they can do something about that. I'm pretty sure.
I would leave that in.
Yeah, I know. Would they leave that in? I don't know. It's pretty loose.
I think that's awesome. Well, also, I watched the Saturday Night Live version of, or like their Zoom version of it.
Yeah.
And the worst part is not having the audience reaction.
Right.
When it comes to that, and on radio and television, you never have an audience reaction. And I think that's why we almost forget that people are watching and listening, which makes it easier for us.
Yeah.
And but it killed me especially because most of those guys and women have been stand-up comedians at some point in their life. And that is the sound of death.
Right.
And so I wonder how they're dealing with that, just knowing, especially like you watch Weekend Update.
Yeah.
With Colin Jost and Michael Che, and like no one's laughing at what you're saying.
I know, and you make a good point because sometimes if I'm watching, I think I love Saturday Night Live. I think it's hilarious, But there's times there where they'll make a joke, and this is how I'm admitting this. You hear the laughter, or the laughing is way higher than usual, so it kind of prompts you to go, "Oh, that's pretty funny." Subconsciously, then boom, you jump in and laugh with it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't want to be dumb about it, but sometimes I laugh when other people are laughing.
It's true. It's totally true. It's the same as like when I lived in LA, we'd go up to the comedy store up the street and you'd have some comedians.
Love the Comedy Store.
It's awesome. But you could go in there, and the great thing was about it, and this is, in the early days when I'd first go there, you'd see some huge comedian would rock up on the stage. I was talking to Adam Ray about this. And I'm like, oh, there's so-and-so. And you and the crowd, the people around you, kind of expecting this, good 30 minutes of just rock solid, like it's a special. But they're going there to work on stuff. But just because of who it is and who the name is on the stage, you just tend to laugh anyway because everyone's so excited to see him. But then you got someone you've never seen. They could be pretty funny. But it's one of these things like, am I supposed to laugh at that? Because you're waiting for the reaction. But no, that's a good point. There was one funny thing. Jimmy Fallon. I was on the Jimmy Fallon show. They did this extended Days of Our Lives. Or what? Did you see that at all?
No, I didn't.
It was gold. So it's over. I think I don't know. I'm butchering this, but it's over. It's got Will Ferrell.
You butcher everything. It's fine.
Yeah, I can pretty much. Yeah. The chick off Bridesmaids, Jimmy Fallon, and whatever, someone else. But there's the screens, and they're all like doing this drama over Zoom. It's pretty funny. It's pretty rock solid. Good opportunity there. Hey, speaking of Zoom, speaking of that, have you jumped in on the Zoom sessions with old friends?
Yes, I have. And at this point, it's getting a little exhausting.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do it all the time.
That's true.
But it is fun, and it's a real good reason to have drinks at whatever time you want.
Like in 30 minutes from now. We're taping this at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. No, that's when my show is. So I'm not doing that during that.
That's true. Well, it's a weekend. No, I'm just making that. Yeah. It's it Thursday? Yeah. It's Christmas.
No, but most of my friends, I grew up in New York, so most of them are on the East Coast. Like, hey, let's do this at noon. And I'm like, it's 9 a.m. for me. But if it's for friends, right. It is cool because I think I do more of it now than I would if, because we're always like, we can always talk to each other. So we don't make the time. And now everybody has all this time. And so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And hey, I don't want to hear you complain about time zones. I've got my high school buddies. I peaked in high school, by the way, and all my friends were there to see it. So we get on. I've got about 4 of them. So it's about 5 of us, which kind of messes up the order of the squares, but it doesn't matter. But so it's the first one. It was like, the first 5 minutes you get through the kinks of like, are you connected? Or what does this button do? Or you can chat and you can put up.
People not getting it.
Yeah. So. You have all that to kick it off, and it's a novelty. And it's like, this is awesome. Hey, guys, and whatever else. By session number 3, we're on 3 now. It's the same group of friends. Now they're all just sitting there like on their phone like, sorry, what was that? And I'm like, I don't want to sit here because I got to sit there at 11 o'clock at night while it's Saturday afternoon there. I don't want to sit there, guys, and drink a beer and watch you look on your phone. And just looking up stuff. And then they're like, did you see so-and-so's post? I'm like, I don't care. Yes, I did see it. Like, that's what it's turning into. I don't like it.
And then someone like doesn't mute and goes and chases their kids, but because of all the background noise, they're the one that's up the whole time. Oh my gosh.
Figure it out. Speaking of mishaps. So here's a story for you. I've got my 5 friends. Now, the one, he's always great. I mean, he's awesome. But there's always something off that he's doing when we're in a group, right? And if he's listening, Tristan, Katie, love you, mate. This is what makes you who you are. But of course, he's the one dude in this group has to go in the garage, right? Because he wants his little alone, his space. The reception is terrible. So you just see his name keep flashing up because the video goes out every 2 seconds.
Let me go into a cement block for this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, killing us. Anyway, and then the sound's all crusty, and then like it's just frozen. It's like, dude, you're killing it. It's so distracting. I'm trying to tell one of my stories, and I got to look at you doing this. Anyway, well, the last session, he gets inside and he's in the front room. I know his house, right? I've been to his house, obviously. He's in the front room, so he's sitting there and he's doing this and that. And I dive into a story now, probably the same as you, right? You have, just like if you're a Seinfeld fan, you have relationship George, and then you have friends George, right? Yes. So I'm an idiot, most of the time. But when I'm around my friends, I'm a 12-year-old idiot, right? So I'm jumping into some stupid story that if you don't know me or if you're not in the conversation, it makes no sense, let alone the audio getting picked up in the Bluetooth when his wife pulls up out the front. So I'm sitting there and I'm diving into
it's like in the car?
Oh, yeah. So here's my booming voice, right, telling some story. I'm a couple beers deep, and it's something that doesn't make any sense, and it can be a bit off-putting with kids in the back seat. And then I hear this, and Mel, his wife, is just an angel. She's like, guys, guys, I'm like, who's that? Everyone, all of a sudden, everyone goes from, checking their Facebook to, oh, who's this? Like, are we getting hacked? Because it's Zoom, right? And so, sure enough, we're like, what's this? And then,
oh my God.
We just go straight off the screen. He's off.
He's gone.
And then I'm like, what just happened? And I can't really recognize the voice. He gets back and he goes, oh, sorry, guys. And then you just see Mel's head come in and goes, oh, I picked up on the Bluetooth in the car. So all of a sudden, I go back through the session of what the hell I was saying. I'm like, oh, my God, what did she hear me say? Like, brutal. Anyway, so all of a sudden, friends, Ryan, 12-year-old.
Whoops.
Yeah, just slipped right in. So anyway, that was
I have learned to turn off every Bose thing in my house whenever I'm doing any of that.
There you go.
Alexa, die. Bose, die. Like, you're all dead to me right now. The only thing is, and that's why I use my phone so often, because I'm like, no one is allowed in to this little rectangle that I have.
You know what? It's funny too, because I've had, people have asked me if I jump in and do Zoom, jump in their Zoom call, under a Little League team. I had a Zoom session, right? So I was like, I'll jump in. And they're like, oh, do you mind if we record this? I'm like, yeah, no worries, go for it. I mean, just don't put it out, because who knows what I'm going to say, depending on what time of night it is, the whole thing, or how, if I start talking about politics to a bunch of 12-year-olds or something, I don't want people to know what I'm saying. But I still get the old, oh, yeah, man, like, how? Well, I would. But I still texting people, yeah, man, I had a Zoom session where he said, like, oh, we should have taped it and put it. I'm like, don't do that. Just don't record it.
This is for us. This is for us only.
That's right. Don't record it. Yeah.
My friends are always very inebriated because they've got a head start on me because they live on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And so I don't want any of that out there. No.
I need to get, and I put this up, but there was a screenshot of you guys, you doing crazy hair night or something. What was that?
No, wig party.
Wig party. There you go. So you guys are getting into themes. Look at you.
We are. We just have we did makeup graveyard night, because every woman in the world has a makeup graveyard where you're like, I don't want to throw you out, but I'm never going to use you again, but I'm just going to save you. And so it's like a little tucked away corner of your medicine cabinet or your bureau, and we all had one, and we looked like crazy people.
I do catch too, speaking of that, I'm sure you do this as well, and and by the way, thank you, Zoom. I know your stock's soaring through the roof and you're doing a fantastic job, and there was hackers and all this kind of stuff, whatever, but you still get and I'm talking about my buddies too, they're on their phone or they're on the computer and they're still doing this like looking at their square, like you're trying to tell them a story and they're checking out to make sure they're looking okay. I'm like, come on, I couldn't imagine how much of that goes on if you're in a public setting, or if you're in an office or something, you're at home, you catch something in the back, and that could just be incriminating. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, working from home too, sometimes my dog will barrel in to my room and just be like, hey, what's up? I'm bored. Yeah. And I'm like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of working, buddy.
Yeah,
sorry, I took you for 17 walks yesterday.
Yeah. It's like Layla would do the bark out the window at nothing and turn around and look at me like, hey, I'm here. Brutal. Well, one more thing on that too. I did these back to back, and I'm trying to fill the time, as are you, right? We with your 17 walks and your little morning show on the radio.
My little morning
show. Which is on an official program, by the way, not like this or the other 3,000 podcasts that come up.
Yeah, it's on a 50,000 watt blowtorch, but that's fine. But so I'm trying to fill the time, and I've been doing these with the kids back in Australia, the kids with Next Gen Baseball. We do these Zoom sessions. So the other night, it's on a Saturday afternoon, and it's a Friday night for me. That's kind of a good time, But there I am, and I've got all this and this is the hard thing about Zoom, because there's a good 50 kids on there, right? It's a lot of boxes.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, and usually if we do a camp, and I'm ripping in, getting loud, and trying to get motivational or whatever. You can see some heads nodding, or kids locked in, or a parent, a dad going, yeah, in the back, the helicopter parent in the back row going, yeah, this is awesome. But with these Zoom sessions, they're all just sitting there like this, just wearing hoodies. So I'm ripping in, I'm going this, that, the whole time, just sitting there does any of these kids care? Do they just, it's Saturday afternoon, just let me get back to the Xbox. You know what I mean?
Right.
Meanwhile,
like I'm staring at another square.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Exactly. And I'm just sitting there going, oh man, are these kids locking in here or not? And then Amanda's, I'm like, oh, I don't know if it was really good. Amanda's like, I can hear you 3 doors down. I'm walking later. Can you keep your voice down? So anyway, but good old Zoom. You're killing it. Thank you. You're making life, a lot easier in this tough time. So
yeah, for real. I mean, I don't think they need any more promotion because, yeah.
Thank you. To the 32.6 million people who subscribe to this podcast, hey, you know what? There's a couple more for you. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure about half of them were using Zoom before. Thank you to everyone. We're so rich now.
Yeah. Anyway, off Zoom. Now, let's talk about the real situation here. You asked me about the Korean Baseball League.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What do you got on that?
KBO, right? My favorite thing about that is bat flipping being celebrated.
But speaking of that, just real quick on that, I saw someone on Twitter saying, hey, the KBO is more about just bat flips. Would they say, be respectful of the league? I'm like, dude, relax. Like, seriously, now we're getting offended about bat flips?
Now we're getting offended about something we like about the league?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Exactly. That's right. Is this something, are you tuning into this?
Well, it airs at 2:30 a.m. Actually, the games that I want to watch, because Taylor Motter plays for the Heroes, we all remember Taylor Motter because his hair is better than mine, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, pretty good.
So, no, I didn't even know, and Jae-Ho Lee is also in the league, and so I don't know which team he plays for. I was just all like, Motter Heroes. I'm at Kiwoom Heroes like for life now. I haven't tuned in live yet, but I've started recording them. And so I'm going to watch them. I think I'm going to wake up at like 4:30 and watch them before the show.
Wow.
Or watch a few over the weekend as well. But I've got the Heroes set to auto record. I just like it because it's baseball, but it's different. And I think when we gravitate towards a league and find out something it does different than the league that we're used to, that's why we get excited about little things like bat flipping. And we had Jerry DiPoto, GM of the Mariners, on our show on, I'm not sure when this podcast is dropping, so Thursday. And he
2 months.
Thursday, May 7th.
2021.
And he talked about how they also have, when fans aren't in the stands right now, but when they are in the stands, they have songs for everyone. It's like a walk-up, except the fans make them up. Right. And it's not some like hit song or anything. It's actually ones that the fans create for the players. And that's really special. And I think there's an element of that in soccer specifically. I mean, European soccer, I don't have a lot of experience with, but I've been to some Sounders games and the fans know all these chants and everything, and they know all these songs. And I don't know where they got it. I don't know. There's some website for soccer people, but they know it. They know when to say it. They know when to do it. And in Korean League Baseball, in the KBO, it's completely fan grown and it's all original, and I think that's pretty special
for sure. And you make a good point, and thanks for killing my next point, where basically I said I've got zero interest in watching the KBO, but you do make a good point.
That's what's wrong with you.
But
among many things.
Thanks, but now I'm going to look like a just a heartless wonder over here in Lane Greenland.
You're just confirming what everybody thought.
It's true. Whatever. All right. Well, we can finish this up right now. I'm just going to go sit over there in the corner. No, but you make a good point. So I was talking to John Morosi, had him on the podcast the last episode, and one thing him and I agree on that we find common ground is the international game. And one thing we talked about was, how do you get baseball to the World Cup of Soccer level? And they're getting close. A lot of that has to stand. A lot of that comes from, what does the US do? What does Team USA do? Who plays? Does Clayton Kershaw pitch when he could have pitched last time in the last WBC in 2017? he could have pitched. And then afterwards, after they did so well and they had such a good time and he heard from his peers how awesome it was, all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'm in for the next one. And then we talked about, Bryce Harper's like, yeah, I'm in the next one. It's like, oh, Bryce, chance of you making that team is going to be pretty hard. That's how good that team can be. But the one thing I love about the international game, John and I were in Japan in November. And I had to walk out the Tokyo Dome, and they do this in Japan too. You talk about the chants. I go out to right field. It's electric. The fans, and nothing against fans in the US whatsoever, but every fan that buys that ticket, it's so valuable to them to be there watching their team, especially when it's a national team or even the Tokyo Giants, the Yomiuri Giants. But they have the chance, and I walked out to right field. That's where the chants kind of start. There's drums and the whole thing. It starts at right field, and then you can jump in. So sometimes the whole the whole outfield bleachers are all going crazy at the same chant. And what you can download and I saw this up there too. You had a couple of, must have been newbies. And I was trying to ask, but I was like, excuse me, what's that? And they're like, just turn away, like, get out of here, dude. It wasn't that bad, but I just looked like an idiot. It was loud. I was trying to ask.
You don't know?
They thought I was trying to steal their beer or something. Yeah. But anyway, they had full on page and page and page, every player's chant that, like you said, it's organically made from the fans. It's awesome. And I'm sitting there in that Tokyo Dome when Japan, I got to watch Japan versus Korea a couple times, and just the rivalry and the intent, and then Korea's trying to get their little, their little show of fans that flew over from Korea. This is the Olympic qualifiers. So they're out there in left field. They're trying to generate as much as they can. You can see Korean, with their little chants going on too. But I love that. And again, it's unfortunate you can't experience that because there's no fans in the seats. But just with the time difference and the fact that I'm so bitter about no baseball going on, basically in this house, it's boycotted, put it that way. No.
That is unfortunate for you. No, I mean, it's America's pastime, and I think that's what differentiates the way we treat baseball here.
Yeah.
Because we have 31 teams, we have so many, and I think that it used to be that everyone gravitated towards a few teams, and that's why you have these very staunch Red Sox, Chicago, Yankee fans, because it was passed down generation to generation. And then, with the Atlanta Braves, it was one that you can only get on cable, and then those flew out, and so. Just because it's so old here and it became an American sport, we gravitated towards it as Americans, and we go towards it for our sport, where it's different for every single country that has the sport. And a lot of countries around the world, specifically Latin American countries, know how much money that you can make playing in America. And I guess I always go back to the World Baseball Classic where Puerto Rico was playing in the finals, which, there was a lot made of the way they celebrated. And I was like, buzz off.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Are you kidding me? And I forget who said it. It was an American player. We don't celebrate that way. Oh my God, piss off.
Yeah,
almost every single guy on that team actually plays in American baseball.
You know what's funny? Anyone who's played, I've played in the Dominican, I've played in Puerto Rico, I've played in Venezuela, multiple times during my career. And just, it's electric. And obviously it's not 45,000 people in the seats because they don't have those bigger stadiums, but it feels like more than 45,000 people, just the energy they produce. And the same thing happens.
They also don't get, sorry to interrupt you. No, they just don't get as much of it as we do.
Right.
We get 162 of every single team, and that doesn't include the playoffs. So I understand why it's not special.
For sure. But in Japan, we had, the Team USA, Team USA for the Olympic qualifiers sent over all these young prospects. One of them, a kid, Mariners pitcher, White Mills, right? So I got talking to them and just kind of said, hey, what's this been like for you? This is amazing. When all of a sudden, we're playing Team USA and there's this thing, it's not this disrespectful thing where they want to beat the US because the US is, the best country in the world, but they just bring the energy. So it's US, Japan. I did that game and it was just they've never experienced anything like it. And that's a situation. They play a lot of games that, the same as what they do in the States, but they're able to bring that energy every single game. And that's the one thing too. Like I'm not a soccer fan, but World Cup of soccer rolls around. I love it. And I can watch, I don't have to watch.
The same way.
Yeah. I don't have to watch, the Socceroos play either. Right. This is where you ask me who the hell are the Socceroos. I think I'm
assuming that is that your national team?
Yeah, the Socceroos. Anyway, please.
I thought you were making that up.
No, that's serious. Anyway, but if Australia's not playing, if it's Italy versus Spain, I don't care because you get to watch it on that level where everyone's playing. There's that feeling of pride playing for your country. But with baseball, there's different styles of playing the game. The way they play in Japan is completely different than the way they play, the power game in the US. I would love to at whatever point, whatever it takes, if they play it in the middle of the year, like they stop the MLB season. This sounds crazy, or like Morosi said, around the All-Star break, have the finals around the All-Star break, and you have the best US team versus the best Japanese team, different styles of games. Unreal.
Be awesome. It'll never happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Because of USA capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the contracts that they sign. I would love it. That's not to say I wouldn't. Sorry to shit on your dreams. Oops, I mean poop on your dreams.
It's fine. By the way, the whole language thing's gone out the window since Eric Burns and Adam Ray on this pod. I was like, okay, I'm not going to drop any F-bombs. I had Adam Ray on, who's hilarious, massive Mariners fan. Yeah, he's awesome. And listen to him talk about the Mariners. I'm like, man, first of all, he knows his team. And hearing about the history growing up in the 90s, the whole thing, he just went on. But literally 5 minutes into that, we're talking dick jokes. We've got dropping F-bombs, boom. And then like, okay, all right. I guess this podcast has gone to that level. That's great. Thanks, Adam.
It's just exactly like The Last Dance. I'm like, ooh, you can say that on ESPN now? Okay.
I still haven't watched that. I'm stuck on Ozark. Yeah. I'm stuck on Tiger King.
Oh, how many are you stuck on? What have you not finished? Everything?
I'm watching Tiger King for the third time. I know that was 2 weeks ago. Tiger King was done. Everyone's like, yeah,
Tiger
whatever.
King is so over.
Yeah, it is so over. I know. But
Carol Baskins is basically in jail already.
Speaking of that, Carol Baskin, I was going to kick off this with, hey, you crazy cat and cat. What did you say? Crazy cats and kittens. I was going to kick this off with
Sounds
that.
about right. Yeah.
Maybe when I do the intro, I can do that. But speaking of, and I asked you this beforehand, this whole quarantine isolation, I was thinking about this the other day. What are the 3 images in my brain that I'm going to think about when I think about this quarantine? All right. I'm going to put you on the spot here. All right. You ready to hear my 3?
Yes.
Okay. Ozark. That's my new show. I haven't finished yet. But that Ring, it's so dark. That show is it's just like Tiger King. Perfect for what we're doing now. I never want to watch it once this quarantine's over. Amazing show, by the way.
Right. Do you also look at the symbols inside the ring and try to figure it out? Yeah.
The image. I'm like, okay, pacifier. Oh, the baby, and like an idiot. It's like just watch the show.
There's an axe. Someone's going to get beheaded. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the image. That O and then the do. That's number 1. All right.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. The next one is just the nightly Hershey's dark chocolate king size. Now, here's the thing. Back in the day, I read somewhere in one of these, muscle mags or women's fitness magazines or something that dark chocolate's good for you. So is red wine.
It's definitely in a women's magazine. I'll tell you that much. Chocolate, red wine.
Red wine and dark chocolate. And
because they want to get us fat so they can tell us how to get skinny again.
There you go, exactly. But I'm guessing that red wine, I guess, is better than white wine. People are like, well, duh, probably. Or dark chocolate's better than regular milk chocolate, whatever.
Well, that is true.
But when you put one to sleep every single night and there's sparks flying off the wrapper, I don't think it's too healthy. And that's where I'm at. It's literally like, man, I'm like, oh, you going to the store? She's like, yeah, can you just get me one more? She's like, again? Jeez. With almonds? Because almonds are good for you. They stabilize your metabolism. Yeah.
You're heart healthy right now.
There you go.
Except for everything else that food is doing.
Yeah. So there's number 2, right? That king size, that X, it's not king size, it's XL, right? XL dark chocolate. Boom. Smashing.
That's probably bigger than king size.
Yeah,
okay.
That's huge, right? You can't buy it in Australia. It's only in America, let me tell you. or Japan.
I 1000% believe you about that.
Number 3 is the absurd amount, and I have a theory on this. If you go to Green Lake, anyone who's listening to this, if you're cruising around Green Lake, first of all, it's now it's one way. You can't go the opposite way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I get it. All right, but I love
for now. I mean, at least it's open.
Yeah, no, it's open. Thank you for that. You can only go one way. So the other day I was doing my run, 20-mile run, not bragging, but I was off on mile number 16. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really show.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, maybe it does, but maybe the Zoom, the technology they have on Zoom's not very good. But I'm running a lot of distance that most people can't. Okay, let's just put it that way. Okay, I'm not bragging though.
A lot of people can't run 2 miles. It's fine.
But I've got the headphones in. Listen to my music, right? Bose headphones, no big deal. And then but I'm cruising. I'm looking at and there's sign after sign, but I was going the opposite way, not on the path, on the outer rim, right?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So then I'm like, okay, I've got to get into what these brand new signs are. This is about a week or so ago. Big blue signs, single file, no bikes, no roller skates or rollerblades, no skateboards, right? And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, all right. If I'm going to get on here, I got to run the right way. But it is literally like absurd. Like every 10 feet, there's a sign. Now, my theory is this: if you look at the signs, if you go down to Green Lake, and I should go take a photo and put it into this video.
That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It says, one of them says, no bikes, big slash through it. 10 feet later, there's a different sign that says, no bikes, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, do they really have to do the one just with the no bikes and then do the one with no rollerblades, no skateboards, no bikes? My theory is this: they went and planted all these signs, right? Zip tied them to the trees, whatever, hammered it in the ground, and then like, oh, we forgot about the other ones. So instead of ripping all these signs up, they just piled it on. They just
made more.
Yeah, they just piled it on. Like it's super lazy.
It's probably as the government released other stuff, they're like, oh, we got to make another sign.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
They're just like releasing, hey, no bikes on Green Lake. Okay, we got a sign.
Yeah, and it's something I would do. Like it's something like where I just leave something there, just like whatever, and just like pile it on. But it drives me nuts. So I'll go run around there or take Layla or whatever, and I'm like, why is that sign there? Why is that one there? And I want to like stop people and say, do you notice this? It drives me nuts. But that's my third image. It's going to be stuck in my head. The blue signs at Green Lake when you go on not single file, one way around. Hershey's XL, dark chocolate. Dark's better than milk, healthy, right? Mm-hmm. Compliments the running I'm doing. Right, I'm not trusting.
Oh yeah, that was the whole point of that story.
Yeah, the whole show run. Yeah, pretty much setting that up. And then the last one's Ozark. What do you got, man? What are your 3 images? Give me something.
Oh, my images. Okay. I have a porch that faces the Puget Sound, and I sit out there quite a bit.
Brag session. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I would have brought out my $100 bills to fan with my face when I said that. Yeah. So I sit out there quite a lot, and I watch almost every sunset. And it's a west face thing, so I don't see the sunrise. But I'm up. I'm up at 4:35 in the morning, and now the sun is actually up. Then, so the water looks beautiful. And it makes me grateful that while being stuck at home, that is a view that I have. So even though I can't go anywhere, I do have a dog and I walk him a lot. And then I try to walk him around sunset time. And I've seen a lot of that. So that'll be one of the. So number 2, I sit on a physio ball through our entire show, through my show prep and for my post show. So for like 5 hours a day, I sit on a physio ball, and that thing is becoming the bane.
Once again, you're better than everyone.
Bane of my existence.
You got the beautiful view, and then you just while I'm sitting
and
on my
obviously a coming 6-pack. Like it's 2V scene soon, because I figure that happens. I don't need to do cardio or diet. I just sit on a ball all day.
There you go. Yeah.
It has made my outer glutes really tight though. No, it is. So that's one, just because it's been there the entire time. And then the third one would be the inside of my fridge, where nothing lives that I want to eat.
What do you mean?
Ever. I look at my fridge 13 times a day, 37 times a day, and I eat once. I hate looking inside my fridge, and I buy the stuff that I put in there, and I don't want to cook, and nothing sounds good, even takeout. I feel like this quarantine thing has done weird things to my palate, where I'm just like, and 3B, like we have A is like not wanting to eat anything. So 3B would be White Claw, because that I'm always willing to consume.
Hold on a sec. So you go grocery shopping, but you're not cooking.
Well, I do, but out of necessity.
Right.
It's not. I'm like, well, I have to stay alive, so another veggie scramble.
No Postmates.
I can't get fat. Well, no. I don't want to eat. I'll go around and like, buy business cards from our local businesses and stuff. But I haven't really wanted to eat anything. I do eat. I just don't like it. And so that's a weird image that will last, is just constantly opening my fridge and being like, I know I have to eat, but nothing looks good.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than the opposite.
It's basically anything, these images that I'm talking about, that if I ever see another blue sign again, I'm just going to rip it down in hopefully 3 months, right? You might have to get a whole brand new fridge. Ozark, I'll never watch again. I'll never eat chocolate again. Yeah, right.
I was like, you're not going to finish Ozark. Let's be serious. No, I mean, spinach might be dead to me, because I eat that with everything.
Yeah.
Cauliflower rice might die.
Yeah. So you're done. Never again.
It's part of everything. But yeah. Also, new images that are upcoming in 2020 once all this is over. My hairdresser's face.
There you go. Hey, me too. So speaking of that,
and my hairdresser's face.
Speaking of that, I was texting Brad Adam the other day, and speaking of hair,
how's his hair?
He's struggling. He does these. It's for his therapy. He walks past these hair salon once a week, and his wife just and they basically act out a scene of him walking in, and then leaving. Then he talks to his therapist over Zoom about his hair situation, everything else. I mean, Root Sports have asked him to do multiple things, and they're like, you can't wear a hat. So, yeah, it's been interesting. He's really struggling.
He should get some braids.
Yeah, hopefully,
pigtails.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to clip this out and just have this clip ready for him, and put at Brad Adam, the real Brad Adam, on Twitter, and make sure he sees this.
Yeah, but, you should tag Brad Adam's hair in it too.
Right, there you go. Oh, I love it. How's that not caught on? Not now, but over the
it does years. During baseball season.
It catches on. Great job. I think I know. I think I've tracked down who actually does the account.
I
think I do know.
You know the ghost?
Yeah, I do. But I think it's great. I think that needs to have 100,000 followers. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't understand how I talk.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very well done. But anyway, Jess, this has been fun. I appreciate you.
Oh, are we done already?
Yeah, we're done. I've got stuff to do. I've got places to go.
Oh my God, we've been going for almost an hour.
I know. I've got places to go. I've got online sessions with the iPad.
When you're getting bored by Rowland-Smith.
That is true. That's true. Well, hopefully this isn't listened to in cars, and while people can stay alert driving on long road trips.
Oh yeah, don't do that, especially because it's video. So
yeah, it's basically put this. I might put this in the meditation category on Apple, so people can sleep.
I love how I'm laughing because I'm like, I was trying to make it look like I'm not sitting on my bed because the lighting at my desk was bad. But every time I laugh, because I have this propped up on a pillow, that shakes.
It does. It's like, what the? That's propped on a pillow. Oh my goodness. By the way,
I've got my tripod legs kind of splayed in there.
Gotcha. Speaking of the amount of people who have gotten on Cameo now. Now, I was on Cameo before. I get no requests. But Grant Balfour, who I'm going to have on the show now, Grant is a very good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
He played the big leagues, MLB All-Star, Australian, of course. We've known each other for a long time. He goes, check this out. I was like, you're on Cameo? That's when you know things are weird. And I went on this thing. He's wearing sunglasses. I'm like, what? And I would get a Cameo from him. He's hilarious. But I'm like, you're on Cameo?
I would buy a Cameo from you as a present for a friend.
Yeah, I need to do a better job of I've done some good ones. People have enjoyed them, but I just feel weird. Hey, pay for a show.
It feels so weird to do. Yeah. Someone asked me to do one. I'm like, I'll do it for you on FaceTime for free. Exactly. I'm not putting myself out there like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, buy me.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm doing like one of them. I was like, oh, this could be a good trend where like, people have like fantasy baseball leagues and nothing's going on. So I one of them, I made fun of one of the people. I'm like, oh, that's good. If I can make fun of,
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's something, like where I'm doing like Mother's Day. So a couple of people have texted me, hey, can you do a Mother's Day thing? And I'm like, I don't know your mom. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, you're the greatest. But yeah, anyway, I'll still knock them out. We'll do some good ones.
You should do some.
For sure. Maybe on the Mariners page, the quarantine page.
It pains me to tell you that people actually like you.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I guess.
Especially when they see me running 20 miles around Green Lake, and they all want to run with me. They can't keep up.
There he goes. You grow a beard, very gump.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The running has been fun, I got to say. I've been getting into running. I hated running before, and I'm just like, oh, I just need to run away from the house.
Got the high. You got the high. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're going to be like 18,000 more marathoners around Green Lake.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Seattle thing, you'll have to buy a lottery to get into the Seattle Rock and Roll Marathon.
Yeah, I know, because everyone's like, oh, I just picked it up during this.
I don't know. I ran 50 miles the other day and came home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, marathon. I need to start a marathon business. My own little Ryan's 90s rock and roll marathon going on down here. I could make a killing. You're right. All these new marathon runners are born out of quarantine, including me. I'm not going to run a marathon. I'll tell you right now.
You should.
That's for sure. No,
they're really
not
fun.
Running that far.
Especially when you feel like you're going to die.
I'm definitely not running that far.
That's the best part.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
You're going
too much chafing. Not happening.
Oh, ew. Okay, never mind. You're not. Ew. No.
I think we're going to end on that.
Yeah, we're done. Okay. Chafing. Great note.
Yes, this has been fun. Let's do it again.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye.